When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest samurai in the empire. He cut off the heads of 131 lords. He was the greatest samurai in the empire. And he took me with him.
Yeah, I said I was going to try and take the high road, but it's really hard because once you announce you're going to take the high road, all the little cowardly rats think they can take shots at you without ramifications. Look at this pathetic little industry that has popped up based on taking shots at me. And that's fine. You little yapping dogs can talk all the smack you want if you think it will up your cred with your subs. I'm not coming for you. But I do want to talk about Antonio Subirats. Antonio and I go way back. We had extensive back and forths on my old moon landing videos. Now, he's been making videos for years, and as far as I know, he hasn't really come at me. But recently, he decided to do just that. In this video, initially an attack on Simon Dan, he spends an inordinate amount of time talking about me. And the only reason I'm mentioning it is because of our history and the fact that he did it in a lying, cowardly, and racist way. First, let's take a look at this little tweaker's racism. This is how he chose to conclude his comments about me.
This guy, within his circle of people who know him, the other black guys and the white guys will know that he's a pretentious guy, because there are black guys that break eye contact, that don't follow the same eye contact rules as Caucasians, simply because their culture is different. But, and that's true, by the way, you can call me racist if you want, but this guy and that culture is American, is thoroughbred American. This idea of the looking askance continuously is not so much to do with the culture, which goes back to Africa. It's to do with their street life, and that kind of culture. Constantly looking for bad guys who might come and shoot you, or constantly looking for the Babylon.
Now, you're dealing with some racist garbage when the person says, "You can call me racist, but it's true." You see, he's decided that my body language, the way I look from side to side every so often, is because I'm black and from street culture. Because apparently he's watched movies or something and has this racist stereotype of black people in his head and has decided to apply that to me. Which is hilarious. Because anyone who knows me and has known me throughout my life will tell you that no matter how down I have always been, no matter how in tune with the struggle I have never been street. You stereotype black people because you don't know black people, Antonio? Yes, that's racist. Now, am I calling you a racist, Antonio? Nah. I'm just saying you make judgments based on racism. And that's close enough for me. And any of your little subscribers that don't call you out on that are just as bad. Now, let's get into Antonio's cowardice and lying. He starts off his criticism of me with this.
This is Greater Sapien. Let's move on. In fact, I'm not really going to go into Greater Sapien. I completely bitch slapped him even before I was a flat earther on his channel, where he's saying, no, they really were taking images of the earth from far away. Like, you sure? You sure they weren't filming from the back of the interior through a small window?
This is his revisionist history of exchanges we had years ago on my moon landing videos. The crux of our disagreement was whether or not this footage of the Earth was done from midway to the moon or not. Antonio's claim was that the astronauts said the camera was against the window, and since this shot here shows it away from the window, they were lying. I pointed out that the astronauts never said that the camera was against the window, and that just before this shot, the astronauts announced they were moving the camera. We went back and forth for a while, and he wishes to present it as him bitch-slapping me. And the reason he thinks he can do it is that he's gone back and deleted all the exchanges that were on that video. This was the video we debated on. Go search the comments. They're all gone. I don't know when he deleted them. It could have been any time in the last couple years, but given what he said, I can see why he did. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, how do we know you didn't delete those exchanges, Jerry? Because of what it shows you said. And that's a great question. And my answer to that is this. The exchanges got so heated and Antonio got so frustrated at the outcome that he claimed he was going to make a video about it. Not trusting him to be truthful about it, I made a PDF of the entire exchange and saved it on my Google Drive, where it still lives. There's a link in the description. It's 19 pages long. In it, you'll see Antonio claim that the astronaut said the camera was against the window, and I challenged him to provide evidence of it from the original footage. He says it's not in this footage, but in other footage. I say, nope, nowhere do the astronauts say the camera is against the window, and I challenged him to go find it. He eventually comes back with a link to a moment during Apollo 10 where an astronaut says the camera is up against the window. Even though the entire conversation was about the camera position during Apollo 11. I found it laughable and I berated him for it. He got so mad that he said he was going to make a video about the exchange and expose me. That's when I saved this exchange. And of course, that video never happened. At some point, he scrubbed his comments, and he's kept my name out of his mouth for years. But for some reason, he thought the coast was clear and that he could tell whatever tale he wished about our exchanges. Because he's a coward and a liar. And apparently, like so many in Flat Earth fantasy land, he has racist tendencies. Shocking. So to all of you Flat Earth children out there who think they can act out because the grown-up has left the room, to all of those that think that they're safe, think again.
That's my job! That's what I do! I don't lose! I win! Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Maybe you came by to congratulate me on last night's victory.